There we go. Feedback.
Jamie's famous
Feedback.
for his Skeletor voice.
I'll get you, He-Man! You boob. Hi, and welcome to That Toy Dude. I'm Jamie.
And I'm John.
And welcome back to part 2 of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So here we have the Snake Mountain playset. I don't remember exactly. I would only guess it's from 1983, 84.
I'd say so. Yeah, it was one of the early sets.
Yeah. And so this playset had it all. It had this snake that you could turn around and get the whoever's trying to break into Snake Mountain. And then here's the gate, here's the trap door, and it would drop down, the figure would drop down in, and there's this net. I'll turn it around in a second, and the figure would drop into a net and be captured. We had this journey of trying to get into Snake Mountain with this notorious scary looking bridge here, and of course I played with it a lot, so some of the tips that you'd attach to the actual playset broke, as well as there's these chains too on this side, and these were notorious for breaking off as well. And so this is the only one that I've found so far. You'd put the figure's arms in it, and they would just hang there.
All of those pieces were made out of a very, very soft, almost like a rubbery plastic. A lot like the original Turtles' brown weapons.
Yeah, especially the nunchucks.
Yeah, and yeah, they were meant to play with a couple times.
Yeah, yeah. Or just have it set there, you know, and not play with it at all. But then you have the mouth here that you can move from the other side, and you have this microphone.
Yeah, show us what the microphone does, Jamie.
Holy moly! I've got to wiggle the wire here. There we go. Feedback.
Jamie's famous
Feedback.
for his Skeletor voice.
I'll get you, He-Man! You boob. I had lots of fun with this. It almost sounded like a voice changer, but it was just a microphone with an echo.
It's almost like talking or yelling into the back of a fan,
Yeah.
which we all did.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I don't recall, there wasn't another puppet, was there?
No.
No.
I think that was just a
secret
entrance exit kind of thing.
So we turn this around and reveal the inside of Snake Mountain here. You've got the trapdoor here that fell, and you've got this net here that catches the hero or the bad guy, whichever took over Snake Mountain. And so you have the microphone mechanics here with the battery over here that you would put in 9 volt, I think is what it is. Yeah, you just made your imagination. There's like this pit with the stickers, and you had all these little mythical animals in here. One of these animals is a puppet that they used for this next playset.
This is Fright Zone, and there's not really a lot going on with this one. You have the gel. Everything's backwards on camera.
Yeah, yeah. You just swing it open.
Keep closing it because I'm like, I'm mirror imaging it. There's a gel there. You can turn the tree.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Well,
a little bit warped from time.
this is warped from time. From heat.
And then this set came with a black snake. Do you remember his name?
I do not. It was the coolest thing though because it was a puppet, hand puppet that you put your hand through, and you could go through it.
And we don't have one, so we invited our friend Bob to show you where the dragon glove would go.
Yeah.
And you would work it like a hand puppet, and
Yeah.
whoever you had he would just get them and
Right where he belongs.
put him in the gel. And now Bob's not very good at this. This is his first time. Bob, tell everybody bye.
Bye, Bob.
This was a pretty simple set. It's one of the more rare sets to see complete because the fabric that the dragon glove was made out of, there's not a lot of them.
And it wasn't even fabric.
Yeah,
it was this almost.
It's
like,
a little thicker than the vintage kids costumes. Those like
it's like
plastic,
a rubber.
yeah. Those like plastic vinyl costumes that kids would wear like in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's a little thicker than that stuff.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, they painted the details on it.
Right.
So that paint getting chipped and everything like that.
Yeah.
The only dragon, I've only seen one good looking dragon glove. All the rest, whenever I do see them, it's like, I'd rather not sell that with that set because it makes it look worse.
Yeah. And, you know, when I was rescuing all my toys from the attic, you know, from further heat damage and everything, I was trying to find the puppet, and because I knew I had it somewhere. And so the poor puppet was just stuck together, flattened, because something sat on it, you know, when storing it. And it was just, it was just flaking, you know, coming to pieces, because there is no restoring that at all. You'd have to just make one yourself.
Like Bob.
Like Bob. And we're proud of Bob. He'll learn how to keep the captors captive soon.
We'll have to fit him into future episodes.
Yeah. So that's the two play sets here. We've got Battle Bones here. This was a cool little thing. You could put your figures.
I bet it was cool on day one. 5 years later, this thing is garbage.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, because of the kind of plastic that they used, if you were to put your figures in any of these clips right now,
They would break.
every one you tried, it would break.
Yeah.
It's a very brittle plastic, and over time it became worse and worse as far as the brittleness.
Yeah. His mouth opens too.
Yours is an incredible color until you opened his mouth. You colored inside its mouth?
I must have, because I was like very creative. I was, you know, this is crayon, I believe.
Yeah, that is definitely a Crayola mouth.
And so I was very gory as a kid, I guess, too, because, you know, you'd put the figures in and he would chomp away, and
Or-
this is all, or a tongue, I don't know.
Yeah, you could have just been making the inside of his mouth red. But
yeah.
this color cream is what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yours is not discolored in the slightest. A lot of times, depending on how it was in a box and it was stored, I've seen these to where like the front half is brown and the back half is cream. And it's just these two little screws holding in this plate. And you can actually unscrew the two screws and change out the front or the back. So if you have a broken tail or a broken head or discolored half, you could save some money by looking for a good version of the half that you need.
Yeah.
Because it's just two screws to change it out.
Yeah. And I am surprised that it is in the condition that it is, other than the bloody mouth or tongue or whatever. because this thing has just been, things have been stored on top of it, and so I'm surprised that all the little horseshoe, things are there and nothing's broken. So this has been a neat little thing. I remember having it, and I remember probably putting figures into it.
It doesn't look like you did.
But I didn't play with it too much.
Right.
So that's probably why the condition is so great on this. I mean, it's not the best, but
it's one of the top 5 I've seen of him.
Yeah.
For sure, especially on the color, and then where he's not missing any pieces.
Yeah. So yeah, at first, whenever I got it out, I was like, he must be missing something, but apparently he's not. I mean, this is how it came.
It'd be kind of cool to display him with Super 7 came out with the 3-inch to 3 3/4 reaction figures.
Yeah.
And they did Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be able to safely put those in there.
Right. Yeah. That's an idea.
That's not a bad way to display him. Because without anybody in it, it's a horrible looking skeleton. But once you put the figures in it, it all makes sense.
Do you remember, or I don't even remember, if this was in the cartoon or whatnot?
I can verifiably say I've seen him nowhere else other than as the toy.
As the toy, yeah.
That doesn't mean he's not.
Yeah.
But I have not seen him anywhere else other than the toy.
Would this be used to capture the good guys or the bad guys, or both?
It was, from my understanding, it was like a troop carrier.
Okay.
And that's probably why you might not recognize it from the cartoon, because as you're playing with your toys, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But a skeleton walking with a bunch of guys strapped to his ribs in the show, where everybody has superpowers, it's not very practical in the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's just a great concept for moving your guys around as a toy.
Yeah. So yeah, I have cherished these toys, and we've got, like, on the Fright Zone here, parts of the tree has broken off. I've got some of these pieces. Hopefully someday I'll glue them back together. I think some of the vultures, there's a couple more, I think, or maybe one more. I don't know. There's only 2.
If there is another one, it would probably be on one of these 2
Yeah.
branches. I'd suspect this one.
Yeah. But yeah, they're as good of shape as they can be, I guess, with all the love and play that I've put them through. But yeah, that's the end of the playsets. So the next thing that we've got on our list is the Masters of the Universe Classics, Molar versus Skeletor.
And Skeletor loses, if you cannot tell. If you've ever seen was it Robot Chicken?
Yeah.
Robot Chicken has this scene, and that's what this whole thing's from. There's probably a little bit of it we could show. I don't think we can show the whole thing.
Yeah, we can put the link below, though, for definite.
But it's a hilarious short. It's stop motion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claymation or something like that.
You can find out why Skeletor is getting his tooth pulled.
Yeah. And, I don't follow it, but I had to have this. I mean, it's funny. It's just a funny thing to have. And I'll probably keep it in a box for a while, unless I make a diorama, a 3D diorama. But, I mean, it already has really good cardboard.
Yeah, it was kind of made for the way that it's displayed.
Yeah. And there's, a magazine on the floor there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got that. On the back, this is like the first time that I'm looking at the back really well. It's showing the figures. And so we've got Tila, He-Man, Beastman, Man-at-Arms, and Grizzlor. And so I think maybe I might try to find those too.
Yeah. As far as the classics go, they are what you would call the adult collector figures.
Yeah.
They are, I mean, it was a main line that they did. And without going to some outside third-party creator like Mondo or I don't believe Hot Toys has done MOTU. If they did, let me know. But
Yeah.
without going to one of those companies and just talking about the actual main lines, Classics is one of the more expensive lines of MOTU that's come out.
Yeah.
They're highly articulated. They fall in the quality and the type of plastic and articulation as like the modern Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series. They're that kind of quality. Of course, these are much bulkier because they're MOTU.
Yeah.
But I have seen some extremely expensive classics, especially if they're still in the package. There was a He-Man that was a Christmas exclusive, and if you got it, it was shipped to you in a cardboard shipper. But when you took it out, he was in his package, and they wrapped it with actual He-Man wrapping paper.
Wow.
And I've only seen one that was still wrapped.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because I thought, oh, you didn't open your Christmas present. And I went to open it, and the person's like, no, stop. That's how it came, because it was a Christmas exclusive.
Yeah. Talking about Christmas paper, some like last year or the year before, when Christmas rolls around, you can find some of these classic Christmas papers, wrapping papers, like turtles and other classics, with the classic designs on them. I haven't seen a He-Man yet though, but maybe this year.
Yeah.
But then we're starting with the Origins line, which came out in 2020, I think, 20 or even earlier.
I think I'm trying to think of all the new tags, because on
Yeah.
on the package it'll say new for
Right.
20, new for 21, new for 22.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I saw any 18s or 19s.
Yeah. All I can remember is new for 20
I think
as the first.
the ones that they did before that just said retro play.
True. Yeah.
So I don't know if those are technical parts of the Origin line.
Yeah. But we have our title character here, He-Man. He's got his double sword that I'm missing from my original, but you see the purple here, and then you see the silver or gray here, and they snap together, and then of course you put it into Castle Grayskull's door and twist it, and that's how you open it. He's got his axe here and his battle shield here as well.
And these are really great because the articulation is so much better. They tried to keep the look and the playability of the originals,
Right.
but updating the
They've got the joints.
updating the playability with
Yeah.
with articulation. You don't have to worry about the bands on the legs or anything like that.
Bend his arm. You can twist his hand here, and his hands go in and out as well. You bend his knees and his legs, and then his feet have articulation too, forward and backwards. And so it's really a nice figure. I mean, it pays homage to the classic, like you were saying. And so for those that have missed the line and want these figures, these were very good replacements, and they've updated the head a little bit too, but it's very, very close to the original.
This guy's obviously going to work because it's one of the Origins. If you run into Mosquito his original figure, he's supposed to pump blood in his chest with a button on the back. And it is working.
Yeah.
It just kind of bubbles around and just moves the red liquid that's in it.
Right.
That is usually all dried up.
Yeah.
In the original figure.
Definitely. And that was part of the draw for buying that figure too, was because it works, you know, and it's fresh and it's new. So many to choose from.
Yeah. Not all of them necessarily need talked about. I do like that they redid the battle damage He-Man and Skeletor.
Yeah.
Where their chests, as you're fighting them, let me wind one up.
Yeah.
Oh, it only does it once on these. The originals, I think, had three.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 versions.
Yeah.
So if your He-Man got hit by your Skeletor in the chest, he'd flip his chest over to having a dent. And then I think the originals had one more panel where it might have showed skin through the armor.
I think it was more of like the first one had no damage. The second one had like a light scar. And then the third one was what is shown here.
Was
on
just a deeper.
These figures, yeah. So you had many different levels of battle damage for the original line.
But those two were really iconic in the 80s because I know whenever I got around to getting them, those were the two that were riding Battle Cat and Panther.
Yeah.
And I would have them joust with their swords running next to each other. So that's what I did with mine. And it worked great for that because I didn't need as much imagination to joust on the Battle Cats than I did making them fight hand to hand.
And I think these came as a 2-pack, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I want to say maybe they came separate too. Here is Merman, and he's got a different face here.
Yeah, I don't like his new face.
Than the original. I don't remember if, well, we had mentioned what his original name was supposed to be when they were coming up with this figure.
Was it Seaman?
Yeah. So yeah, they needed to change that. That wasn't gonna fly. And you know, these figures all come with the belts, the things, you know, that you can take them off if you don't want them on there, and if you want them on there, that's fine.
Yeah, even though the accessories look a little different, most of these guys came with the same accessories that the originals did.
Definitely. Here we've got Adam with the Sky Sled that came out in a packaged vehicle set, basically, and he came with a pink sword of power.
And I like that most of the vehicles like this that came out with the Origins, whether it's something that was in the original line or something that wasn't in the original line, all of them, most of them have these bases with the clear stands.
Yeah.
To where you can actually display them really well, especially the flying ones like this.
Yeah. So next we've got 2 different Evil Lyns. We have the one that closely resembles the toy line with the yellow skin, and then they made another Evil Lyn here that's more, I guess, like her colors should be maybe more accurate. And so they've got the same accessory here, just painted in a different color. Of course, no wiggly legs like the original ones. They're just like every other of the Origins figures. You've got the joints and articulation here.
This is one that other than that color variant, they this was a good hat nod to the originals because they didn't really do too much to her except give her that articulation.
Yeah, she
very closely resembles her original.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one that resembles his original very well is Ram Man here. I guess you'd have to lay him down to get his head to ram something.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because they gave him articulation somewhat. They gave him articulation joints, but I can't get him to bend. But
there we go.
Okay, they were just hard.
Fresh out of the package, I hadn't really.
But it really doesn't do any good for his gimmick because now he's just going to be leaning backwards and not forwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess he lays down and everybody holds on to him and uses him like a battering ram.
As a kid, I'd probably try to pull this off, you know, try to.
See if he's got a beard underneath.
Yeah, he didn't really do too much except for pop out, you know, on the old figure as well.
Another good homage to the original figures is it Mossman?
I think so, yeah.
And the Mossman here, they did the flocking,
yeah,
like they would have with the original. It's actually a really good flocking job too.
It is.
And all of his accessories match up with what the original one came from. And I like on this one, even though they flocked it, you can't really tell too much in the front. You can tell in the back they did it in a way that you can still see all of his muscle rips. If they use a slightly longer flock,
yeah,
then you wouldn't be able to see that detail.
Right.
At the same time, if it was too short, you would see the plastic
right
in between the fibers. So they did a really good job on this one at nailing exactly how to do it correctly.
Yeah, and even the green face where the plastic and the hands are just the plastic, the color is very, very close to the flocking.
Yeah.
And so, as I guess the other one, I don't remember. We've got it packed away now. But I want to say it was a little bit darker than the flocking. Here we've got Faker. Obviously, he's faking that he's He-Man. And I do believe he had appeared in the cartoon as well. And so here's another recreation of He-Man, just painted differently. He has more of the Skeletor chest plate than the He-Man chest plate.
This is Jitsu. The gold glove, I know the original came with a sword, and then he's got a removable chest piece.
Yeah.
Not sure what his role was, but the name Jitsu, and he comes with a sword, I'd say he was definitely one of the fighters.
Yeah.
This is pretty close to the original figure. He has more of a cartoony head than the original. The glove looks a lot better. But everything else, it's just the updated articulation and matches up with his original pretty well.
Yeah. So we have Webster here. And so he climbs walls, whatever. And you can undo all this and you can pull it and then use this to go back and forth with him. Currently, I have him climbing up Castle Grayskull when I display him. But yeah, cool figure here. And of course, he's got the backpack here to do his little trick here with the cable.
I'll do two at a time here because there's not much to say about either one of them. These are both very closely related to their original figures, Skeletor and Stinkor. They are just modern versions of their original counterparts. Got the updated articulation. I like that the the removable backs, where we had these kind of contraptions for turtles in the original MOTU.
Yeah.
You only got like so many uses of putting on and removing that before
Right, before it broke.
Before it would break. So I like that they went with the same look, obviously with newer materials, and because a lot of people broke that right out of the gate.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't get to take the armors on and off and stuff like that.
Right.
But
didn't the original Stinktor actually stunk?
I don't know.
They had some sort of scent that they put on the guy.
Every Stinkor I've came across stunk. But, you know, that's 30 years later.
Right.
No.
Of course, I think the whole original toy line, it had this particular plastic smell to it, and it still holds up today that it's smelly.
There is definitely a 70s and 80s toy box smell. Like, that is an actual scent.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with, we've talked about it in previous episodes, what I call petroleum plastic. That over time, the sticky, oily stuff comes out, and it has a particular smell.
It made my childhood. I mean, it was like when you find these figures, you have a sniff at it, and it's like, oh, my childhood, even though it stunk.
Yeah. The only toy box that would really smell different for a boy in the 80s would be if you had the LJN wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because those have their own iconic smell to them.
Yeah.
Because of the kind of rubber that LJN used.
Right. And we've got the sorceress here. And so this is her colored version here, her original, I think it's original colors.
Yeah.
And so she's got, I mean, all these have articulation, same type of articulation. She's got her wings here that it's a soft, it's kind of hard. This is more soft here than these two pieces. These are like harder plastic, but this is like a rubbery feel on the back here. But then when they re-released the playset Castle Grayskull, of course the sorceress lives in Castle Grayskull, and she can't leave in her bodily form, only in her bird form. And so they released a special figure to come with it, which she came all white. And just like this, it's hard plastic here, soft here, but it's all, it's transparent, and it's basically the same figure, painted differently.
So this guy got a little bit of an update with his head. Now I think he was supposed to be a hippopotamus because it looks like an evil hippopotamus.
Yeah.
This is what we had earlier in the show, where he had a pump on the back to suction his feet and his mouth and his hands to stuff. This one doesn't have the pump, so you are restricted to perfectly smooth surfaces for that.
Yeah.
But the crossbow still works. I thought the crossbow still worked. There it goes.
There you go.
It doesn't really do much. It just kind of flings back a little bit.
And this figure here, since it's updated, it did come with the suction cup head and the suction cup hands as removable, and you can change them out.
But they would still be just like the feet, where
I think
it's going to be like a smooth surface only kind of
Yeah.
thing.
But yeah, it's a nice update, because you never knew really what he looked like. Obviously, in the cartoon, you would have someone looking like a suction cup.
No. We have, I think his name's Strider?
Strider or Striker?
Stratos.
Stratos.
Yeah, we were
We were way off.
We were close.
Yeah.
And then you have Beastman, Fisto, and Buzz-Off. These 4 are all pretty close to their original designs with all of the updated features. And like I said, not much specific note on each one unless you have something.
Yeah.
They're just great updates.
This is Clamp Champ. He is another one that looks like the original. And so you've got him. He's got a chest piece that apparently can snap open on the sides here. And so...
And his original figure came with a power pincher, like some kind of clamp.
And most of these accessories from the Origins line I've gotten in Ziploc bags safe. And so I know exactly where all of them are. Okay, so this is Trapjaw, whether you believe it or not.
Complete redesign.
And yeah, complete redesign. And since I had said that most of my accessories are in the bag, I would only imagine that he has a jaw or another head that you
looks like he does come with another head. Yeah.
That has his appearance as Clamp Jaw. So here you've got him, and without his jaw form, I guess before his deformity or
yeah, you get
whatever it is.
Before and after.
Yeah, there you got Clamp Jaw.
This is one we talked about earlier in the show.
How fun it can be.
The one that had all the different kinds of pieces. This is definitely a modern outlook on it. It doesn't come with all of those crazy pieces. But it is MOTU Walk. And, I mean, I'm sure...
It does have some pieces.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just not to the extent, yeah. Definitely more of an action figure feel than a buildable feel like the original one had.
And it actually comes with instructions that make sense, I think.
Yeah,
to
probably.
put them together.
And I wonder if you chose to
just to have one head.
Yeah, you could just go with a single action figure with this guy.
Yeah, I've got an idea here.
It actually clips on really well. You've seen it here first, folks.
Sure is smelly back here.
That's Stinkor.
It sure is. And here we have Scareglow. I did not have him as an original figure, which he is now. If you have an original of him, he is very, very expensive.
Yeah, especially if you have him complete.
Yeah. So I had to have the Scareglow from the Origins line, and I'm glad I've got them here. How much do they go for? Just about. The original, at least.
Complete, somewhere in probably off the top of my head, I want to say $300 to $350.
Okay.
If you had them complete, great condition.
That's not too bad. It's still up there. It's good. It's a good value.
Figure only. It's not. I mean, the money's in the accessories,
right,
like most 80s toys.
Yeah.
So you might be looking at condition-wise $20 to $50 on a figure only situation.
Yeah. But he should be glowing in the dark. That's one of the gimmicks of the toy, was that he would glow in the dark. And then, the Origins line, I guess, maybe got stale a little bit. Or it got stale only because Mattel decided to do different lines with the same He-Man Masters of the Universe. So one of the lines that I did appreciate here was the cartoon versions of the Masters of the Universe, and this is Skeletor from the cartoon version, where you can see that his face and his body and all that is very, very accurate to the cartoon version of the 80s. And so they had, it took me a while before I could get Skeletor here. I wanted He-Man as well, but by that time only Skeletor had remained in the store. Maybe one of these days I'll pick up another cartoon version of He-Man. Those are the origins and the only cartoon version that I have of the He-Man line.
They're cooler looking modern figures.
Yeah, this is from Kevin Smith's mind and world. He brought back He-Man, trying to key in on that nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, and kind of a small hodgepodge of both the new show and the old show. More of the old show, though. Of course, without the theme song.
No.
And so he had used his own theme song, and it was a good series, I thought, on Netflix, for what it is. I mean, I'm a He-Man fan from childhood, so it was good, watching it. There are a couple of things that I may not agree with, as do many of the fans may not agree with. But overall, I thought it was a good storyline, and I'm not sure if they're actually going to do more of it. They only did like 2 parts or chapters of it, I suppose, with 5 episodes each, I think. And so we've got, some of the main figures here. You've got He-Man here, and he's articulated here, updated for a new generation of fans. And then we've got Skeletor, and he's actually voiced by Mark Hamill in the show. And so I can never get away with thinking of him as the Joker, but as the Joker Skeletor. So that's a line that needs to be crossed too, Batman and He-Man. Pretty punny.
With lightsabers.
Yeah, yeah. So we have the 2 main characters here, or I should say, this was probably the issue that a lot of people had, was Teela. They made her more of the title character in the first one, and they actually, and this is spoilers, killed off He-Man. And so he comes back eventually, but it wasn't so much that Teela was the title character. It was more of what they did with He-Man, making him seem like he wasn't the strongest person in the universe, and that he had a lot of weakness to him or whatnot. And so whichever side you fall on, I mean, it's still a show, and you can either enjoy it or hate it, and it doesn't matter. But these are pretty nice figures, I think. So you have Moss Man. Of course, you don't have any flocking here, but you've got the texture here to make him look very swamp-like. And so, yeah, and these are more serious-looking, more as realistic as you can get for a cartoon,
right?
For this day and age.
And for these figures, I know Revelations had it was hyped a lot before it actually released.
It was.
And one of the things that it got hyped with was the toy line.
Yeah.
And they produce so many of these that these really are almost what you would call bargain figures. You can find a lot of these brand new in the package for around $10.
Yeah.
And it's not for lack of quality or anything like that. They're great figures. They're modern adult collectible and display figures, like comparing again to modern Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series,
Right.
things like that. They just pumped them out.
Yeah. And they're great figures. I love them. And the cape, though, it has that felt type.
I was surprised with such a higher quality and modern look that they went with the felt.
But it's not like the felt that. It's not quite like the felt that you have with the superpowers or the ribbon, but it adds to it. There's like on the inside of the cape, it's more cloth-like, and then you have the felt here, kind of felty, almost like a flock.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him do a little bit more like what they did on Skelligod here.
Yeah.
He has the same felt, except there's accents and layering to it.
And there's some plastic pieces here that attach onto the cape here that give it some weight, I suppose. And so here's where I even forgot the storyline, but it's more of He-Man has, well, Skeletor gets a hold of the power sword, and he calls out, by the power of Grayskull. And so he becomes a Skelegod. He-Man comes back, I guess, and he learns, though, that he's the chosen one. And so he doesn't need the sword anymore. And he calls on the power, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but he turns into, without the sword, this barbaric version of He-Man, and he almost becomes almost like a dummy, not a dummy, but like barbaric
Caveman type.
Yeah. And so you've got to talk him out of his, in his senses, almost. He's still the He-Man, but you kind of got to get him to concentrate, I guess. But yeah, interesting storyline, but it was good to see it animated again and for this franchise to come back on the screen. We have Evil Lynn here, and she's got her little scepter thing, which is a little bit shorter than her other original counterpart, but it's just a lot more detail. She's got some different harder but softer plastic here for her dress part, and so I liked how her character evolved in the cartoon. They really put a lot of depth into some of these characters, a lot more, because in the kids cartoon in the 80s, it was just good versus evil. They didn't really build upon a storyline. It was just a kids cartoon.
Orko got a pretty cool update for Revelations. I think he looks really cool.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about him, but other than that's my favorite version of him.
Yeah. And I can't pull his hat off.
Yeah.
It's all one piece. Orko was not my favorite character in Kevin Smith's version. He just was changed a lot, I think, for me to not like him as much. He still, was a bumbling magician, but in the end, he comes through. And this is probably one of the last figures that I picked up, Triclops. They have a surprise with Triclops at the end of the show too. You can't turn his band of eyes around to change, which is really not satisfying for this figure. He comes with a cloth dress here, and then cloth cape as well. And then, yeah, this is just plastic here. It looked like felt at first. It's dusty too. But yeah, a good figure, good detail with all these figures from Masters of the Universe Revelation. They're good figures, even if you don't watch the Netflix special. They're still good, and like you said, they're a bargain. All right, so this is Castle Grayskull. This is the Origins playset, and it is a little bit larger, taller, and bigger than the original one. It's got a little bit more detail in it. It still has that classic like spray paint look to it. The door is not just green like the other things, but it's got that wooden paneling to it, and it almost looks like the door itself is weathered, as well.
And just looking at the outer case, they definitely made this one to last.
Yeah.
Here, instead of the two latches, we have a metal rod going completely through, straight down the center here. And then on the edges, instead of the two, the other kind of latches, on the original we have hooks.
Yeah.
Which there's corresponding pegs on the other side. So it's not made to eventually break like the other one.
Right.
Every single time you would fasten those latches, you would make the stress marks more and more. So it was almost like they had a lifetime warranty. So if anybody's getting calls about their Castle Grayskull extending their warranty, they should probably do it.
Yeah.
Then before we turn it around, we didn't have the swords for the original. Oh great, I gotta do this on camera backwards. These are the two swords that you put together to put in here and turn, and that's what opens the door.
Yep. So at least they included that little gimmick as well. Now when we turn this thing around, I mean, it has it all. You thought the other one was something, but my goodness, look at this. And they really probably got rid of most of the stickers that were on the floor part, and only limited it to this one sticker here, which probably more so for nostalgic purposes.
Yeah, I didn't know Castle Grayskull had so many computers.
Yeah.
Pretty advanced.
Yeah. You can see out into outer space, even though most of their adventures were on Eternia. But you've got the king's chair, the throne here. You've got the ladder here. You can remove this and do all sorts of things with it. So then you have, I keep on reaching for the other side.
Oh, it's my side.
Yeah, it's your side.
The lift.
Yeah. And it doesn't make you feel like the plastic is going to break.
Yeah.
You have the little gun here, and it's actually attached to it. So it's not like, I mean, you could pull it off, but why would you? And then the actual flag too is stuck here, and you've got the good side and the bad side. You can turn it, to show who's in charge of Castle Grayskull, just kind of like the original one too. and you can just have
the extra accessories.
Yeah.
Like the RAM, there's like a shelf thing, I'm assuming, to hold swords.
Yeah.
And then this kind of mimics the original. It's a little different.
I think I like the original better.
Yeah. I think the original holds a lot more.
Yeah. But I definitely like this playset a little bit better than the original. There's a few pieces that you could probably interchange if you wanted to, because it's the same scale basically for the figures.
Yeah, it's the same scale figures.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you could spend hours and hours just playing with this, and you've got the trap door here by the throne, and so I don't know where that lever is, but it's somewhere around there. But yeah, it's great. So that's Castle Grayskull. So here we've got this massive Snake Mountain. This is another play set that came out in 20-something.
Yeah. It's for the Origin
2023, line. I think. And so I just happened to stumble upon this at Target. And so it was like $100. And I was like, I've got to have it, because if I didn't get it that night, it would have been gone. And since then, I hadn't seen any being put back in stock. So, I'm glad that I picked this up. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the microphone feature. This was supposed to be where you talk into the microphone from the original one, but this just moves around. So, yeah. But you have a green version of Tila here from the Origins line, and these chains are different. These are rubber, and so you can bend them more flexible, and you don't have to worry about them breaking unless they just get damaged in the heat or some other way. But yeah, they resemble, because they bend, they resemble the chains, like real chains. So you've got that going for you, and they're real easy to put on, take off as well. You've got the snake here. I think the only movable part, I guess you can wiggle it a little bit, but I was disappointed that this doesn't move like the other one. But you can open up the mouth here, you can turn the head around, that type of thing. You've got the gate here where you can open and close it.
Got the arsenal with a couple accessories, and then I guess the cave, sewer, underground entrance here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would use it for. We use it for Bob.
Hello, Bob.
This is where Bob lives on this one. Bob is stuck. Good job, Bob. Here.
There we go. He can deflate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got the bridge here. The bridge is much more sturdier and much less likely to break. It's just a different type of plastic. I mean, you've had 40 years to, to improve on toys, and so they most definitely did the same stickers, almost the same stickers for the eyes here. I'm surprised that they didn't just paint the eyes on.
Yeah.
Instead of using the stickers, but yeah, stickers have probably gone through a improvement process too. We'll come back 40 years from now and review this toy if we're
Which it
around.
really wasn't ever the problem of the stickers, it was just the adhesive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think I've mentioned before, if you ever have a vintage toy and it had these kinds of stickers on it and your stickers have just fallen off,
yeah,
or they're peeled up, Elmer's glue stick Don't use super glue. Don't use hot glue. Don't use any high chemical glue. All you're doing is replacing that adhesive. And an Elmer's glue stick is the perfect adhesive replacement for vintage stickers.
Exactly. And of course, you've got the trap door here, I believe. I think it's here. I think it's, yeah. So you can't see it from that side, but we'll go ahead and turn this around, and just like how impressive Castle Grayskull was on the inside, this is equally impressive. It's got some good things in it. You've got your jail cell here. Pretty much, you've got the ladder here. The ladder may go on the opposite side as well, but
before I lose the train of thought, I don't think we mentioned it. On the outside of this, there is actually little foot pegs, all over it for your figures. There's one up here you might be able to see. Yep, right here in the camera.
And even on the bridge.
They're on the bridges, the stairs. They're all over the outside for putting it in the holes of your figure feet. And
you can have a nice diorama.
Yep.
Here's the trapdoor. I say here is the trapdoor.
It's here.
Thank you. It's my toy, and I don't know how to operate it. But yeah, there's the trapdoor there. And then you've got Skeletor's little throne over there. You've got where there should be a long, neck here for the vocal, voice box.
But that gave them the room for the jail, though.
Yeah.
So
the jail, it's kind of like the Superpowers fortress, or not the fortress, but the
Hall of Justice.
Hall of Justice. Yeah. With their jail cell, but this looks a lot better than the Hall of Justice jail cell. But yeah, just a whole lot of improvements. You've got this spider right here on this side. It's nice, and it's just, you've got the creature here in the little goo stuff, and then you've got this little dragon here that's popping out, peekaboo, But yeah, I think this pretty much wraps up, at least my collection of He-Man stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's so much that you don't have. Like, this is a massive toy franchise.
Oh yeah.
Many different companies, Super 7, Mattel, Mondo. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on of who has this.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for another episode of That Toy Dude. I'm John.
I'm Jamie.
And between all three of us, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.